Are rivers any less terrifying than oceans? Well, yes, to some extent. But then again, rivers are home to some of the scariest creatures you've ever seen, and they're also a heck of a lot closer to you than the ones in the ocean are. Number 1 is a voracious pack hunter with a reputation of being man-eaters. I'd watch out for them if I were you. With all that said and done, let's begin, shall we? The Longnose Gar is a fierce, ancient predator that lurks in fresh water. An air breather, it can often be seen lying around near the surface and rolling to take a gulp of air. One of America's premier fighting fish, the Longnose Gar is legendary for its toughness, fighting spirit, and savage predatory nature. The Longnose Gar is unmistakable as a species. Its long snout, heavy armor plating, and cylindrical body make it hard to mistake this fish for anything else, except for maybe a crocodile. Their bony snouts are crammed full of sharp teeth, and their rear fins and tail are bunched together at the back to provide quick acceleration for ambushing prey. These things are also pretty big, sometimes reaching lengths of up to 6 feet long. Also, they're very powerful, and they've also been long sought after by sport fishermen as a prize. Despite its fierce appearance, they seldom attack humans, preferring to dine on smaller fish that are easier to catch and to swallow whole. They do pose us a threat when they are young, though. The eggs of this monster fish are very poisonous to humans, and accidentally ingesting some while swimming, for example, may prove fatal. Ever seen a fish with human teeth? I have. It's actually been on a few of our other lists. And this disturbing-looking creature is from the Amazon River. Pacus are a large family of freshwater fish related to the piranha. However, while some species of pacu do look like piranhas, they're actually herbivores, as well as an extremely peaceful species of fish, if not just a little disturbing looking. One of the primary differences between the two is that the piranha's teeth are triangular and razor sharp, and the pacu's teeth are more square-shaped and human-like, which to me makes them absolutely terrifying to look at. These fish actually make amazing pets. In fact, pacus are also known to develop personalities as they grow older, and can sometimes recognize their owners. Their fascinating behaviors make them a popular choice among aquaria enthusiasts. However, don't think you can just rush out to any pet store and buy one of these guys. They can get so big they tend to become a handful. Literally. An adult pacu can be over 30 inches long and will need to be kept in a pond or an enormous tank. Water and electricity just do not mix. Everybody knows that. You've all played Pokemon. That's why we don't make toast while in the bath. While you would think that getting an electric shock while swimming in rivers is highly unlikely, it's quite possible, especially when this creature calls the river its home. Electric eels are the only known animal that can generate its own electricity and use it for its own benefit. A full-grown electric eel will generate about 600 volts of electricity in short, intense bursts that last only about 2 milliseconds. This electrical charge comes from thousands of muscle cells that each create a tiny current. A 6-foot eel, for example, has about 6,000 muscle cells working together to generate those 600 volts, which is quintuple the voltage contained within a standard wall socket in the United States. Although the electric eels use their shocking ability primarily for hunting, by stunning fish around it making them easier to catch, it does discharge a large voltage every time it feels threatened. This has had some pretty fatal results in humans a number of times, so stay smart around this one. The Nile crocodile is Africa's largest crocodilian. They can reach a maximum size of about 20 feet and can weigh up to 1,650 pounds. Average sizes, though, are more in the range of 16 feet and 500 pounds. They live throughout sub-Saharan Africa, the Nile Basin and Madagascar and rivers, freshwater marshes, and mangrove swamps. Although much smaller than the massive saltwater crocodile, it has a more fearsome reputation. Nile crocodiles are known man-eaters. Their diet is mainly fish, but it will attack almost anything unfortunate enough to cross its path, including zebras, small hippos, porcupines, birds, and other crocs. It will also scavenge carrion and can eat up to half its body weight at a feeding. The proximity of much of its habitat to people means run-ins are frequent, and its virtually indiscriminate diet means a villager washing clothes by a riverbank might just look as tasty as a migrating wildebeest. Firm numbers are sketchy, but estimates are that up to 200 people may die each year in the jaws of a Nile croc. Scary things don't have to come in large packages. Sometimes it's the smaller things that you should actually be scared of. And when it comes to pint-sized terrors, no one tops the candiru. The candiru is a tiny parasitic catfish that has a tendency to find its way into, for lack of a better term, undesirable places, in order to suck an organism's blood. Sometimes these organisms are humans. With a burst of energy, they propel their way into an opening, and once they are in this opening, they get themselves lodged into place through the sharp, backward-pointing spines by their head. These spines extend into the host, lodging the candiru firmly in place. From here, the fish happily feeds on the organism's blood. The problem is, this fish isn't very picky when choosing its openings. Many individuals who are familiar with this fish claim that it is attracted to the scent of urine, and will attempt to take a direct route to reach the source of the smell. In other words, once the source of the smell is located, it is said that the fish swims up through the stream of urine coming from the urethra and heads into the organism's urinary tract. Once it's made its residence, it stays there, and the only way to remove it is through surgery. So, a warning to those pool peers out there, never try to do your business in a river where these creatures live. This aggressive fish is native to China, southern Siberia, and North Korea. They aren't particularly terrifying in the places where they're native to. In fact, they're fish and occasionally raised for food. But to us Westerners, these fish are absolute terrors. No, they don't attack humans in mass numbers. The problems they cause is much more significant. It's most terrible in the United States, where the invasive species has caused environmental problems. During all life stages, snakeheads compete with native species for food and habitat. As juveniles, they eat zooplankton, insect larvae, small crustaceans, and the young of other fishes. As adults, they become voracious predators, feeding on other fishes, crustaceans, frogs, small reptiles, and sometimes birds and small mammals. Should snakeheads become established in North American ecosystems, their predatory behavior could drastically disrupt food webs and ecological conditions, thus forever changing native aquatic systems by modifying the array of native species. And for these reasons, drastic measures are often called upon to eradicate this species from a given location, which often includes poisoning the waterways. Did you think that only fish swim in the rivers? Oh my, how wrong you are. There is a creature that is leaps and bounds more terrifying than any fish in this list so far. It is large, it has sharp teeth, it can crush you like you were made of Play-Doh. Oh, and it can also swallow you whole. I'm talking about none other than the green anaconda. The green anaconda is a non-venomous constrictor found in the Brazilian Amazon and some other parts of South America. It is one of the most feared and revered species of the Amazon. They live in swamps, slow-moving streams, and marshes of the Amazon where they remain nearly completely submerged in the water, waiting to strike on the unsuspecting prey that comes to drink the water. Although the snakes are sluggish on land, they are sleek and stealthy in the water. Once they catch their prey with their lethal coil, the prey's last moments are near as the snake suffocates their prey to death. Although no evidence has yet been recorded, the green anacondas have been often labeled as man-eaters. Granted, it's through several unverified reports of humans being eaten by these giant snakes existing, but that's still pretty horrifying. The Goliath tigerfish is the largest member of the tigerfish clan, known to grow as large as 5 feet and weigh over 110 pounds. They are native to the Congo River Basin, Lualaba River, Upemba, and Lake Tanganyika in Africa. This large African predator is a freshwater fish with an olive-colored back and a silvery underside. What's striking about the Goliath tigerfish is its astounding size and weight, almost looking as if it grew on steroids. It then uses its razor-like teeth to tear its prey apart. The lifespan of this fish is unknown in the wild, but in captivity it can live to as many as 10 to 15 years. If you see it out in the wild while swimming, turn the other way and swim in the opposite direction. And also, pray that it doesn't follow you. It is a very fierce predator, with a mouthful of 32 dagger-like teeth and a very muscular physique that enables it to hunt efficiently. Heck, it isn't even afraid of crocodiles, and actually eats the smaller ones. It is one of the strangest fish that you'll find in South America. Not only does it have a mysterious reputation due to a lack of research on the species, but it also has an unforgettable appearance that includes 2 gigantic fangs, giving rise to other names such as vampire fish and Dracula fish. They make their home in the Amazon basin of South America, where it prefers clear, fast-moving water with lots of currents. You'll often find it in churning rivers and the bottoms of waterfalls. They have a fearsome reputation. In the wild, peyaras are ferocious hunters that are constantly on the prowl for their next meal, and they don't let anything get in the way of dinner time. They've been known to chase off medium and large-sized fish that they don't want to eat just so the water will be clear for the fish that they do want to consume. They've also been known to hunt down and eat another freshwater predator, the piranha. They have also been kept in aquariums as pets, where they lose most of their aggressive nature. However, they should be kept alone in the tank, as they still have the tendency to eat all of their roommates. Of course, this list would not be complete without this iconic freshwater predator whose fearsome reputation has instilled fear in most of us. Coming in as the most terrifying river creature in our list is none other than the red-bellied piranha. Red-bellied piranhas are South American fish with razor-sharp teeth and a reputation for feeding frenzies. In fact, piranha means toothfish in the Brazilian language of the Tupi people. They live in groups called a shoal, and people think that these fish travel in groups so that they can overwhelm prey in a choreographed feeding frenzy. Scientists, however, think they travel together as a form of protection from predators. Granted, that's not to say that frenzies never occur. When threatened, the shoal will group together with other shoals to take down the predator. In cases where humans have been attacked by shoals of red-bellied piranhas, the victims are usually injured or are children. Also, most of these attacks occur during the dry season when food is scarce. These attacks are rarely fatal, often only resulting in multiple cuts on hands and feet. Nothing like the movies. Did we leave anything out? Let us know in the comments section down below. Want to watch more videos about terrifying animals? Click on any of the videos you see on your screen. As always, thank you all for watching, and I'll see you all next time. Later, everybody.